Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my name is Bryce, and today I'll be defending myself here in the closing arguments. This is the portion where I don't have to understand a bunch of legal jargon, but I can speak freely as a human being and express my side of the story, express my point. And, I know you've listened to a lot of beating upon your brain. It's kind of like regularly scheduled programming here to program your mind to feel a certain way about me. And if you knew a little bit about me or understood about my life, you would see I'm the type of person that is concerned with what goes on around me, and I wish to help. But all these moral portions are not observed here in the courtroom. They're irrelevant, and I feel that should be changed because it's important on what a person does as a whole. Before you go judging them, you don't understand their circumstances or their situation, where they came from, if they had a family, if they didn't, if they were broken, if they were sick, if they were poisoned. So we're missing a lot of information here, first of all, when we go to judge people. Now, secondly, I want to bring some scientific facts to your attention to help support my point that I'm bringing across to you today. And first of all, you'll have to be familiar with a gyroscope. So I'm going to let you watch some U.S. Navy training videos to prepare you and give you an explanation on what a gyroscope is. And then we're going to go into how this helps me prove my point. Seeing that portion, I'm going to go ahead. I knew that was going to happen, but I wanted you to see, at least at the first where it says United States Navy training film. Now I'm going to speed ahead to 1:06.
Electric gyroscopic instrument. To understand any gyroscopic instrument, you must understand the principle of the gyroscope. It consists of a rotor mounted in a gimbal. The rotor can spin in one plane only. When another gimbal is added, a second plane of movement is possible. And when this assembly is mounted in bearings, the rotor has three planes of movement and can assume any possible attitude. This is now a freely mounted gyroscope. A spinning gyro has two important properties: precession and rigidity in space. All of its practical applications are based on these two properties. As for rigidity in space, the spinning rotor remains in its original attitude, while the gimbals and base move around it. In other words, the gyro maintains its axis in relation to space and not to the surface of the Earth. If a gyro moves around the Earth, its axis is vertical to the Earth's surface here, at an angle here, and horizontal here.
And now, my point here, let's back up just a hair.
If a gyro moves around the Earth...
Now, let me go ahead and brighten this up all the way for you. Now, my point is, now they say the Earth is a spinning ball, and you just saw a description from the U.S. Navy telling you how a gyroscope operates whenever it's set up like that to be able to spin freely. That the base, since the Earth spins one revolution every 24 hours. Now envision it sitting on that box. It's staying pointing straight up because it's one of its properties are rigidity in space, meaning it stays pointing to the same direction no matter where you put it on the Earth. So if the Earth were to spin for 6 hours, it's going to be 1/4 turned. You'll be able to physically see it. So all we have to do is set a gyroscope up, set it on the Earth, plug it in for 24 hours. If it doesn't move, if the base doesn't move, period, your Earth doesn't spin. And I claim we stop this courtroom immediately and we take this test for everyone to see. Does the Earth spin or does it not? Based on the Navy aeronautical evidence and claims of what a gyroscope is for, what it does, why these physical properties mean anything to us. So I say it does not spin. I've done my own test before, and if I have time I'm going to upload it. But what I'm saying is a gyroscope like this is expensive. and it's hard to get your hands on. But we can do this. We can get our hands on one of these and show the world on the courtroom that we're in right now on my YouTube, and we can convict them. I love you.